Ladies and gentlemen, it is Eminem album season once again. I've said it before in previous videos of mine, but I'm always going to be excited when it's time for a new Eminem album, no matter what. No matter how far into his career it is, no matter how much people would say that he's fallen off or maybe isn't as good as he used to be. And this one, at the very least from the outside, looks promising to me. I don't feel like it's going to be the last Eminem album ever. I think there's still going to be more after this, but I think it's more so a reintroduction and then retirement of this character of Slim Shady. Overall, from a packaging perspective, this all looks really good to me. I love the title, The Death of Slim Shady. I like the album cover. I think the album cover is pretty nice, works for the theme, and all of the track names also look pretty interesting to me. I don't care how I feel about this by the end. It's always an exciting moment in my opinion when Eminem drops. It's always an event. It always gets people talking. I think that makes it fun. There's always gonna be something to say about the music. Also, I know the setup is a bit barren, but we have a little mini lamp light thing back there, so hopefully that adds to the video and doesn't distract from it. Let's not waste any more time, and let's get started with track number 1 of 19 on here. It's a pretty short one, so I don't know if it's just gonna be an intro or if we're gonna get just one verse, but it's called Renaissance. Okay, it's like from the trailer, the gravestone one. It was captioned with Hawk Tour, 50-year-old man.
With balls in his durag, he sags, fearing no man. He stands pen in his hand like Edward Scissorhands. Shenanigans and all his wacky antics in the papers. Shady's dangling, a baby tangled in a blanket, strangling him, hanging him over the railing, hand in the heart, aiming a bar chamber that carved names and it starts raining, it start raving on beat start. Elephantitis to the nuts element of intelligent hoodlum arrested development.
I wasn't expecting it to sound almost like some production straight off of Relapse. It sounds very focused and steady. If this is a sign of what we're going to be getting throughout the project, it already has my expectations a little bit higher, to be honest.
Soon as I quit giving the fuck, I started to celibate. Now there's travel inside the mind of a hater. Kendrick's album was cool, but it didn't have any bangers. Wayne's album and Ye's Joyner's album was corny. Shady's new shit is...
That one is kind of true.
I didn't like the beat, so I hated, might delete later. You nerdy freaks would find something wrong with 36 chambers. It's what they do, so you can wait for your flowers until you're blue in the face. Stupid, you ain't gonna get them until your funeral wake.
There's something standing out to me about Eminem's voice on that first track. It just sounds like one of his older voices, which is really interesting to me. I really liked what he went for here. It was nice and steady, had Relapse style production. Even being somebody that critiques music for a living, or at least discusses music for a living and does album reviews and song reviews and all that kind of stuff, I still had fun listening to what he had to say here in his sort of like tongue-in-cheek perspective on it. It's a good intro. It is just one of the 19 tracks, but better to start off on a good note than a bad one. So let's see where we go. Next up, we have a nearly 5-minute long track, so we'll get a bit more of a complete song here. Track number 2, Habits. This one features White Gold, according to Genius. I probably shouldn't look at the Genius pages because it might spoil features.
Thought you got rid of my ass, huh? Half an Ativan, I'm driving straight out of van in a black sedan, fast as I can. About to get retarded on this motherfucking shit. You can't say retarded. Shut up, midget. Stop, midget.
Of course, there was gonna be a bar like that on here.
I know you can't get rid of me forever, cause you know that I'm prescription, man.
Was just a kid from Detroit who knew how to destroy the booth and had a point to prove. I reminisce on them blowing a fuse over my points of view. Still I'm devoid of two shits to give, and about as much of a boy as Bruce Jenner is. Cause I'm not a boy, I'm a man, bitch. Man, bitch.
Goddamn, I miss you, Slim. You got an addiction, man.
Something's wrong with me, my God. Old habits die hard.
Mom shaming, dad shaming, yeah. Fat shaming, mansplaining, blah.
Into them girls who bought tits to get attention.
Then get hit on by ugly men who are
Not in your league, how fake.
nowadays some gals, they just clout chase. Look at me with sour grapes and your brow raised. Parental discretion, mental aggression. My head's a Smith & Wesson.
Drums are nice there. Alright, now we got the rappity rap section.
And if men wanna wear lipstick and women's underwear, who cares? The shit is their business, not fair. Witness beware, bitches.
Part of me gets it and wants to say I'm sorry and fix it.
I'm sorry.
So all my statements are basically contradictory.
Wait a minute, which R word? Rape or retarded midget? Not cool. Would this rhyme be okay if South Parker did it?
Maybe this track will make more sense to me when I come back to it. on a re-listen, but you know, I like the production. I mostly like the way Eminem's voice sounds on it, but the content is really just kind of a bit uninteresting to me and not really taking this in a particularly great direction.
And as far as what I just stated regarding midgets, you'll probably think I'll just say that I'm playing, I'm not, I meant it. Yeah, I'll pick it up by its legs and drop it and kick it. Marshall, your wicked face that you are addicted. My sense of humor is probably twisted, it's painfully obvious.
You got an addiction, man.
So I guess that chorus could take more than one meaning, not necessarily being entirely about drugs.
I'm just playing, little people. You know I love you.
That was the I'm just playing for this album. Alright, Habits was an interesting one. Maybe that'll grow on me a bit more with more listens, because I get it, it's the Slim Shady persona. I guess more controversial, kind of. But again, I don't think it's particularly provocative stuff being said. Like, it kind of feels like softballs, if that makes sense. And this to me felt a little bit more like a Music to Be Murdered By Side B track. I'll come back to it, I'll give it a few more listens, but I don't know if it's super strong as a track. On this first listen, I thought it was decent, not too crazy. So let's see where we go with track number 3, Trouble. This is another really short one, less than a minute long, and we'll maybe just let that bridge straight into Brand New Dance, which it sounds like it should be a fun song, so let's see what happens here.
Alright, here, drink this. What is it? Shut up and drink it. No, the fuck are you trying to do? Get us canceled. Hey yo, fuck blind people. What? And deaf people suck. Stop, Shady, Jesus, what the fuck? Oh, here comes Marshall to try to clean this up. Shut up! You gonna cancel me, yeah? Gen Z me, bruh. Little
Gen Z is trying to cancel Eminem?
I don't realize that we fucking need each other.
Gen Z is trying to cancel who? I don't know how much I can buy into this whole tongue-in-cheek concept of like, I want to get us cancelled. You know what I think part of it is, okay? Eminem is doing it here in obviously a very like tongue-in-cheek and comedic way, playing into him having a conversation with, but also battling with his Slim Shady persona. But it's more so like, I feel like I'm just kind of exhausted and burnt out on the whole cancel culture conversation, to the point where even stuff like this, where it plays into it in such a tongue-in-cheek manner, is just kind of tiring for me. Is that going to be the whole thing this album goes for? I kind of hope there's more to it. So let's see where we go with it on track number 4, Brand New Dance.
Everybody on the dance floor, come on. Well, it's Friday night, no date for the prom. Just got caught jacking off by your mom. Suspended from school for...
Are we getting an encore style track on this one? Is this supposed to be like revisiting different Eminem album eras? This is gonna be an interesting one, because the last sound I feel like Eminem should revisit is the My First Single encore sound.
Horseback, little do-si-do. Little bit of soul mixed with some rodeo. Come on. Hands and stomp your feet. Everybody join together. Can you feel the funky beat? Just make sure that you videotape it. You can only do it once, but the people go ape shit.
Not the horse being a part of the beat.
On the count of 3, everybody do. No Christopher Reeves. 1, 2, 3, follow me.
You falling, you can't get up.
It's a brand new dance.
This is my Chris anthem. I'm giving Chris Reeves his Chris anthemums.
Caitlyn Jenner in the front row, pumping a fist with a simple little twist and a flick of the wrist.
The horses, oh my god. It's basically kind of like a Christopher Reeves diss track if you think about it. It's a reference to his older music though, so I get it. Yeah. I feel like the last era I wanted to see revisited was the encore sort of like My First Single style of tracks. This was 100% a callback to that so clearly, right down to the references to Christopher Reeves, who has caught so many shots from Eminem. He's not even alive anymore, is he? Oh, he hasn't been alive since 2004. Okay, and it's Christopher Reeve, not Christopher Reeves. There's a fun little fact for you. But I will say that I guess there is something nice, if I want to say something, you know, positive about the track, I guess there is something nice about Eminem being able to revisit what was definitely a dark period of his career. Like, Encore was made when he was off the beans. So, like, him being able to revisit that, you know, completely sober and in a completely sober state of mind and just sort of have a callback to that era and have fun with it, I guess there is something sort of wholesome about that in a way. There's another perspective on this track. So, let's see what we get on song number 5 here. It's called Evil.
Woke up with an attitude today. Not in the mood to play. Nothing to lose again.
Guess I just choose to stay evil.
So evil.
My medicine cabinet's big enough to fit a cabinet tablets. I split like cavities, capsules traveling like a javelin.
I was 5 when they tried to say I stuck a live grenade up inside of a microwave. I behaved like a child.
Reminds me of MMLP2 a little bit.
Holy shit, Kate Jenner just flipped.
This is like the third Caitlyn Jenner mention in the first 5 songs on the album.
What the fuck, wait, Weaver, established I'm straight. See the way they try to make me the devil's a thief. Meds by my redneck stepdad till I beat his ass to death with a cassette deck. So much bloodshed that when he bled from his head.
One thing I've noticed throughout these first few tracks is I feel like there's these interesting parts where like the Slim Shady like nasally delivery seems to bleed into the lines and then get cut off by a more modern Eminem style of delivery. It's interesting. It's kind of like his old persona is almost trying to like take him over at certain points throughout the verses. I think that's a cool little touch.
Call this sex ed with a splash of necrophilia, cause when I say that I'm really the evilest, I'm fucking dead ass. I'm dead ass. Cause I'm evil, I'm so evil. Rotten to the core, fucking twisted cerebral.
Evil was another one that I think was solid, but there's not much to the content of this album that is really gripping me so far. This one reminded me of, I think it's Brainless that the chorus kind of reminds me of. So I guess we really are going for something where each track is a little bit, you know, represents a different album throughout Eminem's career. Brainless is one that had to grow on me over time from MMLP2, so maybe Evil will be in the same vein. I just feel like the strongest track on this album so far has been the intro. Some fun wordplay, decent little deliveries, but not anything all that amazing. We'll let track number 6 roll into track number 7. It's All You Got Skit, and then that goes into Lucifer.
Man, why you doing this? Cause you owe me. How? Cause I gave you everything. What? And what did you do? You walked away from me. I made you. You were nothing till you found me. How many times you try to kill me?
Slim Shady talking to Eminem. That's cool. And then Lucifer.
Also known as the...
We have some Dr. Dre production on this one.
Haters can meet the same exact fate as my dad. Wait, at least he didn't miss me graduate. Yeah, great. This is what he do to his mom. Imagine what he do to you. I'm a lunatic armed. Mom, look at what you do to respond. Must be a cold day in hell.
Okay, Gene saying that Sly Piper on the chorus.
I smell the fresh in the flesh, rotting so it's breakfast in bed. If I wake up next to a dead
Oh my god.
Now all I see is dollar signs, losers. Bitch, I was in them trenches like them Columbine shooters. They say I don't know struggle no more, that's a joke. Bitch, the fucking elevator in my mansion's broken. And Candace, so I ain't mad at her. I ain't gonna throw the fact bitch forgot she was black back at her. Or say this mag a dirt bag in the skirt just opened the biggest can of worms on the whole planet. Earth hologram was a clan. Might as well go looking for smoke with Lamar, bro. But Marshall, you're getting more perverse every time you record a verse, hurling horrible slurs towards the world. And why can't you make fun of people behind their backs like a normal person?
I like this one.
So first I must weave rhymes, yeah, so seamlessly. Then I'ma leave eyes in a state of disbelief. And I'm Lucifer, and Dre's the producer for the Antichrist.
And then that goes into the song Antichrist. I feel like that stretch from Habits through to Evil, it's already gonna get the comments from Eminem fans who are unhappy unless you say 100% positive things about the record. But Lucifer was great. That was one of my favorites. I should actually keep note of my favorites and least favorites. I don't know if it was just because we had Dr. Dre on the production, but the beat was amazing. I love the vibe this one had going on. The content is still quite similar to what we've got so far, but I do think it was fun. There was fun bits of wordplay in here, and again, that sort of interplay between Eminem and the Slim Shady persona is really fun. Sly Piper had a cool chorus, and I thought the verses just sounded steady and focused from Eminem. I thought it was entertaining, and that's one I could see myself coming back to a lot. So let's see what we get on track number 8, Antichrist.
The devil came to Michigan. Oh shit. Fucking PC police.
Not PC police, come on, man.
Oh wow, got heterosexuals cramming them down our throats now. Like I'm getting slow, my humor's too low. Back to 2003, cause how did we get stuck in this woke BS? I'm trying to make it regress, fuck them. Rather see me do like Kim Kardashian, they say. Yeah, and find a way to get rid of all of this rage, eh? But if you wonder why is Mars considered the harshest spitter, so hard Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj or Scissor, cut it out. Shady is Bill taking the pill and putting it in your soft drink. Something's off and I don't know what the cause be.
Cosby.
His name is Honcho. He's the Antichrist.
I actually kind of like that chorus. For this theme, I think it works.
What did you drop dead in my lap? You call that head? I suck my dick better than you do. Yeah, Antichrist, how come you can't be nice? Look who's talking, dog, like Brian from Family Guy. But who else is ass pitiless acts.
It's actually kind of making me laugh because it's so goofy. I can't even be mad at that. I do like just like the obvious humor of Antichrist. How come you can't be nice? Like the way he delivered that really got me. And then like his talking dog, like Brian from Family Guy.
Next idiot asked me is getting his ass beat worse than Diddy did. But on the rail though,
Cassie.
nightmares going Freddy on me, cause they steady on me.
He mentioned Freddy Krueger there. I was gonna say the chorus of this one did give me almost like slight Nightmare on Elm Street vibes.
Do you drive when them rappers like Jada bring out the will in you? Cause now my shit slaps harder than will it do word to Gorilla Glue.
This got really good for me all of a sudden.
Sticking the clip in the ooze that I've been itching to use. Looking like Nicholas Cruz. My trigger's happy. It's tickle true. Travis Pickle. I'm too weak and rude. Better get the fuck back, bitch. I'm here to do what Dre sent me to do. That's sinfully get to spitting the shit devil in me. And I do spitting his name is
Now, I'm not gonna lie. Didn't love the fast rapping flow there. I like the more steady rapping throughout this verse, but that's just like a small part of it. Overall, really like this song. It just didn't need the fast rapping in my opinion. I know, 10 fastest Eminem verses guy. Is that bizarre? Oh no, we're about to get one of the worst verses ever.
Where Bruce Jenner at? I wanna fuck that hoe. Where's Megan Thee Stallion at? I wanna suck that toe. 20 years in, shit, I'm past addiction. Butt naked, all ass. Trying to get on Haley J's podcast. Why not?
Does Haley have a podcast? The bizarre verse was to be expected, and there was actually some lines in there that made me laugh, so can I even be that mad at it? I think Antichrist is another favorite for me. We're on a good streak right now, so I really hope that continues. Antichrist was a lot of fun. The only thing that I thought was unnecessary on this one was that section where it got into the fast rapping, where to me it sounds worse because it almost feels like this monotonous wall of sound, if that makes sense. It just feels like something that doesn't really have a groove to it. It's just fast. Sometimes Eminem can do fast flows really well, but the one here felt unnecessary to me. I even enjoy Bizarre on here. I know I joked around saying we were going to get one of the worst verses ever because I don't think Bizarre is a great rapper, but he has his gimmick, and every now and then it can be pretty fun to listen to. The album is starting to hit its stride a bit for me. So with that being said, let's get into track number 9, Fuel. I am aware that this one has a JID feature. That got kind of like spoiled for me a little bit, but I have no clue how it sounds. I'm assuming great. What a collaboration. I gotta hear it.
All of my niggas gon' ride with it in the pocket, the rocket like killing mom. Mama told me the power was in the tongue.
Hearing JID on an Eminem album is fantastic. He deserves that.
Try to pray and repent in a synagogue or a mosque, a temple, a church. Them brown skin cinnamon niggas hurt shirts. Search, lurk, murk, squirt, dirt first. My nigga doing 4+8 without a court date. Talked the other day, he said he doing okay. Homie got a heart full of hate and a face full of war paint. Eyes all red, full of rage, and it's hard to escape from a dark place. East side niggas from the A, niggas all ages.
Does he have one of the best flows in the game right now? Because I think he may.
Cover up, bundle up, batter up. Talk a lot of smack and I can back it up. Shout out wanna shack it up.
Run out of fuel. I won't.
Great verse. Nice chorus too.
I'm like an R-A-P-E-R. Got so many essays. He didn't just spell the word rapper and leave out a P. Did he? Yep.
Did he?
And pop. Yep, but I ain't trying to beef with him cause he might put a hit on me.
This one feels kamikaze, I guess.
You either smoke crack or you're playing stickball in the street cause you must be on base if you're thinking you could touch my car. But if the whole world was out to get you, I don't condone gun violence at schools, but I can't get these voices out my head. They're putting words in my mouth like alphabet soup. The most content on the continent. I'm cognizant that conflicts are consequence of accomplishments accomplished through competition.
Hey, this album is hitting its stride for me, man.
Fuck around and get popped like a Nina Hutchins, like a Malik Baldwin. What I mean is fucking you down, who the raw then. Right between the fucking eyes, shoot them all in. If you think you're fucking with me,
I won't. What the fuck y'all gonna do if I don't?
Fuel was another great one. I'm putting that down on the favorites list also. Alright, now my estimation of the album is going up and up. An Eminem and JID collaboration, I thought it would be really good going into it. I think it was really good coming out of it. JID, he knows how to expertly weave his words in and out of the production, and it just sounds absolutely mesmerizing. He is like a magician with the rapping. Eminem had a great sing-songy chorus on it that I thought sounded really nice, and his verse was fun as well. Reminded me more so of the Kamikaze era, which a lot of people weren't crazy about Kamikaze. I still think it's somewhat solid. We're on a streak. Let's keep it going, hopefully. Track number 10, Road Rage.
This rap shit divided by panty lines. Which side are you on?
I walk around more confused than my Aunt Linda's man friend, a black transgender clan member who's a Caitlyn Jenner fan.
Caitlyn Jenner again. My man is obsessed.
Give me a road rage reason to black the fuck out the road what they eat. Road rage.
But life, this is showbiz, so things ain't never really truly over till Lizzo sings. Like, I won't say that. Yeah, here's a concept. Let's celebrate onset diabetes, and instead of us dieting, we can just have a pie eating contest. And instead of exercise, it's easier to find a triple exercise and try to press society to change. It just starts increasing all that starch and grease and clogged arteries.
I was not expecting a whole verse about obesity, but here we are.
The way things been with today's thinking, we should baby them instead of shaming them.
There's some middle ground.
Yeah. All my obese people, if you're fat,
It's still going?
but if you're mad cause they're clowning you for pounding them donuts, put them down and either do something about it or own it.
What?
Yeah, transgender rights, where do I stand? Oh, I'm all for 'em. I really am pro. Call me a transphobe, cause I just can't go and try and pretend you was never a man though.
Why is this necessary to put in a verse?
My dick just won't expand, them tits won't make it stand, but Caitlin's a big fan. No, wait! Oh, you want me to fucking chill and tone this shit down, huh?
Wait, why is that kind of bumping though?
You feel stupid now, huh?
Old Slim would've told him to put a lid on it like a toilet bowl rim. Well then fuck you, Chris Reeves, and the horse that he rode in, bitch.
Oh, I kind of wanted to hear a whole track over that last beat. That shit was bouncy. I kind of wish that second part was more of this song, because the majority of this track was essentially just a long diatribe about obese people. Just a strange song from a content perspective, and all the references we've had to Caitlyn Jenner up to this point, track 10, like, that's not even a current pop culture reference. There are some moments on this that really do feel a little bit like old man yells at cloud, you know? And I do want to go back as well to the whole babying versus fat shaming thing. There will be people in the comments, I'm sure, that are like, oh, but shaming's actually better because that motivates people to make a change. Not necessarily. I still think there's a middle ground. Shaming isn't better. Let's not present that idea. This is coming from a former fat person, by the way. So, with that being said, on to the next track on the album. It's track number 11, Houdini, the single from the album that I have heard. I think it's a solid track, nothing too crazy, but fun, and a sort of throwback to the Without Me style of track. I feel like Eminem is one of the few rappers that can make a beat this goofy and weird sounding work. From electric.
Just like that, and I'm back, bro.
By the time I became a dope fiend, ate some codeine as a way of coping. Taste the boat beat, it's case of boat eat. Great flow at the start of this verse. This is the shit girls out to shut me down.
Sometimes I wonder
What the Omi say? If what? He does the Slim Shady voice perfectly still. It's kind of uncanny hearing that.
Harry Houdini, I vanish into the thin air as I'm leaving like
Abracadabra. Dun, 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 dun. The reaction video to that song is on this channel. I still think it's a fun song. I do find it quite interesting how it's track number 11 on the album, because you would think the one talking about, you know, just like that and I'm back bruh, would be the intro, or at least after the intro on the album. I feel like Houdini makes sense as a track 2, not really a track 11, so maybe the album placement is a little bit off in my opinion, but still enjoy the song, so I can't be too mad at that. But up next, hey, we have a little run I'm really excited for here. Track number 12 is the Breaking News skit. That's not what I'm excited for. The following song after that, Guilty Conscience 2. Wondering if it'll also have Dr. Dre on it. It can be tough making a sequel land as hard as the first one, but I hope this manages to do it. So we're just gonna let the skit run into Guilty Conscience 2.
Detroit rapper Eminem, in a stunning move, has released an album in which he is actually trying to cancel himself.
man. Well,
Alright, Guilty Conscience 2.
no, right?
Or is it just gonna be Eminem and Slim Shady on Guilty Conscience 2 instead of Dre?
Why does it feel like I'm always being tortured? The bad apple spoils the whole orchard.
See what I mean now? You see how they're trying to make me out to be some kind of mean, vile, obscene, foul prick? You want a fat shame, bitch? Two can play that game. What? You want to judge people? Yeah. Just immature and literally you're still mentally 13. You're still picking on Christopher Reeves. Yeah, but you're me.
Okay. So I feel like the tracks where I did find it a little bit tiring and I did have issues with some of the stuff on it, that was sort of the Slim Shady persona taking over, which I guess is what a lot of the theme of this album has been, but now Eminem is directly tackling that on Guilty Conscience 2.
You ain't the judge of the jury, you're just as guilty.
You rip on paraplegics, man. Seriously? You just sound like a dick.
Wait, nah, fool.
What?
When I say fuck midgets, I mean Ja Rule. That Chris Reeves song was recorded in 2004 for Encore.
Yeah? Look at all the shit the media's putting me through.
What?
Cause of all the fuck bullshit that you pushed me to do.
I do find it interesting that, you know, obviously very fitting with the concept of the album, that it has the Eminem and Slim Shady back and forth when we've already had this discussion really on Evil Twin from MMLP 2, where the song basically ends with them saying, yeah, we're one and the same. You know, I used Slim Shady as a scapegoat, but we're having that same conversation here again. And now for the purpose of this narrative, Eminem is acting once again like Slim Shady is someone different, even though we established on Evil Twin, you know, they are the same person at the end of the day.
Not scare you cause I'm who you used to be. Who? The you who didn't crumble under the scrutiny. I gave you power to use me as an excuse to be evil.
I know.
You created me, I took over you totally. You were socially awkward till you molded me.
Now say you're sorry, and you didn't mean any of it.
I'm sorry, Marcel's a pussy, he's Dre and Jimmy's puppet.
What? Bitch, this is for him.
What?
Christopher MGK, nicking for Limp Bizkit. Into all my feuds, including mine.
What?
I'm welcoming you to my last hurrah. I bid you goodbye. Who your cocksucker? Coup de grace, motherfucker.
Paul, you're not gonna fucking believe this, bro. I had this dream, it was fucking crazy. It was like the old me came back on the new me. Gen Z was trying to kill me, and quadriplegics and Christopher Reeves, and I was saying all this fucked up shit.
What gets me about it is I feel like there aren't any people that are really truly offended by this stuff, and if they are, it's a very small amount of people, you know? Like when Eminem was doing the MMLP stuff, say what you want about it now, at the time that album was definitely pissing people off, and that's one of the things that made people love it so much. It genuinely did annoy a lot of people, and people saw it as like a rebellious thing to listen to, whereas the bars here, I don't see how they would upset anybody, you know? Guilty Conscience 2 was solid. It was okay. It definitely doesn't stack up to the original one. Maybe one that I'll need to give more listens to really see how I'm feeling about it, but it basically did the same thing as Evil Twin, where it was doing that interplay between Eminem and Slim Shady. It dives into stuff that I think is interesting. It's just we have heard it before, and Evil Twin is basically this song. As a song, I think it was decent. As a song that plays into the concept of the album, fairly solid. As Guilty Conscience 2, I definitely don't think it stands up to the original, but not a bad track. So let's see where we take it from that one, track number 14 on the album, Head Honcho.
Just to not blow my cover, no it's all just a test, but I can't pass up this hunger.
Okay, that's Easy Mo, the new Shady Records signee.
Either way, I'm the fucking head honcho. Money come from my flow, the clip of lead blanco. Loose grips, two grip, that's the shit I'm smooth with.
Okay, another verse from Easy Mo. So basically an Easy Mo showcase.
You don't relate to me, guess you never been angry or sad. Or maybe just have, never had to face any adversity. Everything you ever been through multiplied by 9. Ain't even half the shit I went through by the time I was 5. But America, I could see the fear in your eyes. You saw my terrible side, the blonde hair and blue eyes. Easy name to remember, cause his rap name is the same. It's like 10 minutes on stages for me. Easy Mill, or should I say Measly Mill? And all I did was say like one thing bad, then it spiraled. Saw you crack in a smile, then relapsed in a mile. Ways back in the vial, live on planet denial for the rest of my life. But you'll be a stand till I die though. Stand till I die though. Head Honcho was solid. I liked Eminem on it the most. Easy Mill, I've heard 1 or 2 songs from him before, and I think he's okay. Doesn't really stand out to me particularly, although I do think the code switching in the first verse was cool, but other than that, you know, wasn't necessarily crazy about his verses or his chorus. I think they're just alright, but nothing that I would go out of my way to listen to. The Eminem verse on it was pretty damn good, pretty much stole the show for me on here. Some good wordplay and alright content throughout. So let's move on to track number 15, Temporary. A lot of people ask me.
Oh, we got that. A lot of people ask me.
I'm not afraid of death. The truth is, I think what scares me the most is not being able to say all the things I want to say to you.
Where's Haley? Where's she at?
This ain't Haley.
Who is it?
Oh, that's sweet.
I've been waiting all night for the sunrise.
I would assume that's Skylar Grey. She's on most Eminem albums at this point.
Give me a kiss, monster. Love you.
If I could just fall.
So Haley Jade, I wrote you this song to help you cope with life now that I'm gone. How should I start? Haley, baby, dry your eye, this is not forever.
When a heart breaks, it ain't broken forever.
Damn.
Together, and in time, I'll be fine.
I think it really hits as well because he's like in his 50s now. So him making a song like this for his daughter with the the clips from like old videotapes or whatever with his daughter. Oh no, that just hit me right there.
Jade, it'll be okay. Baby, I'm here. Hey, I'm watching you right now. Baby girl, I vow I will protect you. It won't be too long. I need you to move on. And remember, it will get better. Cause time heals and
tonight when I cry, the tears are temporary.
And if there's days where you wanna just lock yourself in your room and cry, just think about how when you were little, how you and I back and forth to the studio. I knew that you was gonna take this the hardest. Sweetie, get up. I know that this is breaking your heart. Haley, sweetheart, it's okay for you to let me go. Baby, I promise you that when
a heart breaks, it ain't broken forever. Together.
Was not expecting that, goddamn.
Then we'll be laughing together. And tonight when I cry, the tears.
That's never happened on camera before.
You're taping me, bitch.
I got you on tape cussing.
No.
Alright, we're back. Damn. That one actually got me, man. That actually got me. There's a lot of different layers to it. First of all, it's just very kind of sweet, somber, and moving. For Eminem to be making a song for Haley to listen to after he passes away, like, that concept is heart-wrenching, especially when you know how important Haley has been to him throughout his career and just throughout his life in general. She's somebody that us as Eminem listeners, we've heard about her so much. Something about that just hit me right in the heart. I mean, I guess another layer to it is just being somebody that also had, like, you know, lost a parent when I was younger. It's just something that, like, hearing a song like this where it's a parent, like, leaving behind a song for their child, that just really hits, you know? I don't know. I think that was just really sweet and that got me. Especially with the audio clips from what I would assume is like videotapes of when Haley was younger, tying that into this whole concept. Damn, that hit me a lot. I'm good now. I'm good. Let's take it to the next track and see what we get on it. It's track number 16, Bad One. Maybe we'll take it to a lighter place after that, because that was a hard-hitting one.
Stay back on this. Let me apologize in advance. I like that.
Okay, we're definitely going back to something less sentimental.
Money pile like Tony Stark's. That's how much I earn, man. Damn, girl, my head is
Iron Man.
Like drawing breath from your diaphragm. I've achieved every aspiration that I have had. I got a bad one.
She just gotta put up with my shit. I'm going platinum.
Not sure how I feel about this white gold hook.
1 minute you're here, next minute you're gone. Don't sit there and scoff, little bitch, you can knock.
Another one that gives it a bit of a music to be murdered by side B feel.
This genre with all these corny white rappers, I'm not a fan of it. Like
Tom McDonald.
This $1,000 in my hand is just like what Candace did when she turned her back on her own race. Cause I have abandoned it. One in me offend and use nothing new. Fuck it, it's what I love to do. This is subterfuge just to screw with you. I just say, man, I didn't say that shit. Shady did. Cause all I do is write the rhymes and then wait for that beat to play. Spit him sugar. I gotta keep going Tyson on Kelly. I bodied him twice and already that little motherfucker's back throwing subs. Like a food fight at the deli.
Kill Shot 2 incoming? Probably not, but
I just put Fidel up on the link. I'm going gold now. I love all my records, but she said I got a bad one.
Especially coming after Temporary, Bad One didn't hit that much for me. I didn't enjoy the white gold hook on that one all that much in terms of its structure and just the way the track felt and what it talked about as well, with a bunch of little disses in there and little shots at different people. Another one that felt very Music to Be Murdered by Side B to me, which I don't hate that album. Music to Be Murdered by Side B is enjoyable for me, but it definitely has a throwaways vibe to it, and this one feels a bit like a throwaway off of an album that kind of feels like extras anyway. Hey, this album made me shed a tear, but it doesn't mean I won't keep giving my honest thoughts on it, okay? So next track we got, it is the third last track on the album, and one of those is a skit, so really the second last track on the album. It was the second single from this project, but I have not heard it yet. It is Tobey, and this features Big Sean and Babytron. a Detroit showcase. Let's see what we get on this one. I think the little snippet I heard of the hook sounded pretty fun, which was Tobey Maguire got bit by a spider, but see me, it was a goat. I like it, nice and simple.
Tobey Maguire got bit by a spider, but see me, it was a goat. If you want space, I hope you take your helmet off soon as you get up to Venus and choke. My city Leia and I'm Obi-Wan, got a mission to pass, I just might be the hope. No, it's me, I'm allergic to rojo. Ride around with the Iron Giant, making me metal. Watch Unbreak a rock down to 3 pebbles. Bam, bam, down 3, hit the grand slam.
Really solid verse from Babytron there. I thought that was fun. Let's see what Jonathan does.
Act like they need me, but fuck it, I do it alone. We don't want chips with a chip on our shoulder. If he Obi-Wan and I gotta be Yoda, don't need no promoter. We pull up, they know us. I'm the Ayatollah, snatching your control. No, he didn't, got him more invested. If it's one thing I make no exceptions. I got new addresses, I got no reception. Grinding shit out, gotta stay patient. While you outside, we on staycation. Lock the fuck in, ain't no player for real unless you play making.
It feels like a big build-up, but I actually really like this structure.
Got my states in the building, and bitch, I done slept on more floors than the Empire State Building. I got so many stories, but I hate ceilings. Ain't filling your top 5 favorite hot rappers I've already ripped could be higher up on a list than me. Yet here I sit on your list with 5.
Is this the Melly Mel stuff?
They tell me I should just let the shit go and slide. Melly Mel shouldn't get no reply. That man is a legend, bitch, so am I. But hey, maybe I'm the GOAT, the bitch on and Babytron, and that's why they be on the shit they be on. Cause
Tobey Maguire got bit by a spider, but see me.
The song kind of feels like constant edging, but I like it. They all had chemistry together. They all worked together. Babytron was the one that I thought would maybe feel a bit out of place on the song, but not at all. He fit into it really well. Loved the way he flowed over this. I like this sort of like weird little, almost lullaby kind of vibe to the production. I think that was really cool. Big Sean was great with that sort of non-stop flow that you can expect from him. Always sounds pretty good, and it sounded great over this production again with that constant build-up. And I thought Eminem was really fun on here as well. Addressed the whole Melly Mel situation. So I think that was fun to hear him talk about that again. Like, Melly Mel shouldn't get no reply. That man is a legend. Bitch, so am I. I actually really liked that, and I'd maybe even consider putting that on my favorites. Alright, so it's time to see how this all closes out. It's our final 2 tracks on the album. Track number 18, Guess Who's Back Skit, and that's going to run into the final track, number 19, Somebody Save Me. Oh, is it going to be a Ken Kniff skit?
Half a bag of Viagra, gonna reach around and grab ya.
Oh, it's like, oh, it's his version of Houdini.
Where'd everybody go? They left me again. Half a bag of Viagra.
And with that being said, track number 19, Somebody Save Me.
Daddy? Come eat!
Oh, are we gonna get another emotional one? Come on, man, I didn't survive the last one.
Another pill as I start the spiral. Message to my daughters, I don't even deserve the father title.
Okay, so kind of like a Rose from Revival.
Looking down, sweetie, I'm so proud of how you turned out. Sorry that I chose drugs and put them above you. Somebody save me.
It even feels a bit Revival with the more commercial edge to it.
Elena, sorry that you had to hear me fall in the bathroom. Sorry that I missed you graduate. Nate, I should just congratulate. They say my life. It's bad for my health. But the addict in me's a coward. He told me that I can't do it. Had a second chance, blew it. I'll turn it around and be able to walk her and Laney one day to the altar. As they lower me in my coffin, I feel the tears all falling down on my cheek.
I'm alone, I'm so damaged beyond repair. Life is shattered, my hopes and my dreams.
And there we go. That is the last track of the death of Slim Shady right there. Literally ending with a bar kind of about his death. So yeah, Somebody Save Me. I'm not too crazy about that one personally. I think Temporary is definitely the better emotional track for me here. I don't know, there's something about it that feels a bit too commercial, and not really a fan of the country sound or Jelly Roll even in general, so it's not something that's going to hit for me. I do appreciate the emotional content on here, but just as a song, I don't see it being one that I come back to all that much. Kind of a bit too commercial and light to me for the emotional aspects of it to really come through. Even though the stuff Eminem was saying was definitely very emotional, it just didn't quite connect with me as much because of this sort of like clean country rap-esque sound it had going for it that just doesn't really work for me. But I'm not going to say it's not a fitting note to end on, because it is. Not a bad ending to it. So overall, How do I feel about the death of Slim Shady? Coup de grace. This is an interesting one because I've definitely had my criticisms of this project, so some people will automatically conflate that to meaning I hate the project, but I'm actually satisfied with it. I don't expect an Eminem album in the 2020s to be one of my favorite projects ever from him, and this isn't one of my favorite Eminem projects off of a first listen. I doubt it will be after more listens, but I'm still satisfied with what we got because there's plenty of tracks that I'm going to get out of this. I look forward to revisiting the album and, you know, figuring my thoughts out on it even more. Overall, even though I do have plenty of issues with stuff on here, a lot of the cancel culture content, even though that is so tied into the concept of the album, just isn't very interesting to me and can be very tiring at times because it's all that a lot of people talk about now, to the point that it's just like white noise. But I still think there's plenty of individual songs on here that I enjoyed. Like I said, there was cool touches throughout, like the Slim Shady voice sort of like creeping in and out through certain lines. We had Guilty Conscience 2, which was literally a back and forth between Slim Shady and Eminem. So there's a lot of cool touches on here, and ones that I might even appreciate more coming back through it. Like I always say, the second listen is the real first listen. The first listen is where you just get introduced to everything. The second listen, you know how everything is going to sound and you can figure out more specific thoughts. But I would say, yeah, first listen, I'm probably feeling somewhere around a 6-ish for my rating on this album, but that rating will not be concrete until I give the album more listens. Follow me on albumoftheyear.org, CDTVProductions, and you will see my final rating for this album when I drop it on there, with some more thoughts probably typed up on a little review on there. In terms of favorites and least favorites from this project, we got more favorites than least favorites, which is always good. There wasn't a lot that I found to be downright bad on here personally. My favorites were Renaissance, Lucifer, Antichrist, Fuel, Temporary, and Tobey, and my least favorites were Trouble and Brand New Dance. Not too much I would point to here as being like dislikable. It's a pretty consistent album, and I think for Eminem in 2024, that's all I can ask for. A consistent album that doesn't really have very many weak points. Now let's play the fun little game that I'm sure that Eminem himself would love. How does this stack up to other recent Eminem albums? Would I have The Death of Slim Shady above Music to Be Murdered By Side A? Probably. I think after more listens I'd have it above it. Definitely above Side B. Is it above Kamikaze for me? I actually kind of like Kamikaze. Again, there's issues I have with the content on there as well, but I still think it's an enjoyable enough album. A lot of the stuff on there sounds good to me. It's close to Kamikaze, probably. It is better than Revival, not better than MMLP2. Like I said, I'm satisfied with my first listen to this. I just thought it was an enjoyable enough listen, and one that in 2024, I'm satisfied with from Eminem. I do want to point out that I think Eminem's rapping in terms of like delivery and flows, for the most part, was really solid on here. That's one thing I can definitely appreciate about this album, is that his rapping sounds focused, and there was something about his voice on a lot of tracks that just sounded a little bit different and sounded more steady and precise, and I really liked that sound. So from the actual side of Eminem's voice and the way that he used it on this album, mostly pretty good, and I can really appreciate that. So with that being said, that is my first reaction to The Death of Slim Shady by Eminem. 6 to a 7 out of 10 off the first listen, but that could change with more listens. The first rating is really just a general guideline. Thank you so much for watching. You can click on the screen right there if you want to see some more Eminem related content from me, and much love to my Patreon supporters and channel members, either on this side or this side. I might have done it the wrong way around, with a special shout out to I Am Regent, KWG13270, Lucas1123, and Wormst. And also Neo Striker. Can't forget Neo Striker.